Video games. We've played them with family, friends, and even people we've never met on the other side of the world. But why? What makes video games so appealing? Let's see what some students have to say.
Going around that leads to violent behaviors and everything.
I've heard that they rot your brain.
And you might go overboard.
The achievements make me feel good because it's like, hey, I actually did something good, and it kind of gets my self-esteem up just that little notch higher.
It's just fun. I'm not gonna try to say that I play to stimulate my brain and practice and get smarter. I just play because they're fun.
It was just a way for me to do things that I know I can't do in real life, but they were fun to do in a game, so it kind of got me interested. I don't really believe that.
I think they could be overused.
It's definitely a cultural movement. The whole expansion of what we can do inside of a system, blah blah blah. But I think they're important to society.
Video games are a part of our technological revolution. Can you imagine a world without a computer? Probably not. Video games are to thank for the miracle that is your computer. By the late 1950s and through the 1960s, more computer games were developed. They gradually increased in sophistication and complexity, where they diverged into many different platforms, including arcade, mainframe, console, personal computer, and later handheld games. Then these technologies were consistently being improved upon, and thus cell phones and PDAs came to be. And here we are today. We can do almost anything with technology, thanks in large part to video games. So whether to make friends, relieve stress, or create your own epic adventure, we play. The average young person spends 18 hours a week on video games. While this may seem like a lot, it's only 2.5 hours a day. Considering the other things college students could be doing for these 2.5 hours, this is good, especially if there are benefits to spending so much time in the virtual world. But isn't it bad to spend so much time playing games that display so much vandalism, murder, and general mischief? Well, you might be thinking yes, here's something to consider. Violent crime, particularly among the young, has decreased dramatically since the early 1990s. During that same period of time, video games have steadily increased in popularity and use. If games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty actually caused the younger generations to be more violent, wouldn't the opposite be true? In fact, if video games are the outlet, shouldn't students play more? Another advantage to playing video games is the increased amount of hand-eye coordination. While this seems to be a bit far-fetched, studies show that people who play action video games can process visual information more quickly. They can also track 30% more objects than non-video gamers. Anyone playing a video game is doing multiple things at once. By playing 2.5 hours a day, every day, gamers learn how to act and react to every little happening on the screen to help them advance to higher levels of gameplay. But gamers aren't the only people who benefit from learning such a skill.
Wii systems are being used to help the elderly become more active. Games are now being used by the U.S. military to prepare soldiers for battle. So there's a lot of simulation games that are kind of going on out there. An increasing role in our society and continues to do so, particularly with regards to entertainment, which video games would fall into the area of entertainment. So in that regard, I think that video games are such a huge part of our popular culture, in our everyday entertainment. So in that way, perhaps, this is something that whether we like it or not.
Anything used out of proportion is bad. Video games aren't any different, but the benefits of video games can be great. Video games connect students, peers, and even generations to one another, and can improve social skills and coordination. They inspire new technologies which advance our personal electronics and our military. They keep our students entertained and on their toes, literally. There are many advantages to playing if one is willing to learn. So, let the games begin.